Hi, I'm Amy Shannon, and this is another episode of Exposed Mobility Impaired Denied. And I think that I will, at least for the cold weather, not be going out as much independently. But when I do, I will, of course, as I had mentioned, I will, whether I'm using my wheelchair or my mobility scooter, I will be bringing my camera with me. And it's not like it's going to be a day in the life of Amy Shannon because that would be extremely boring. Um, you would have video of me sitting here on my computer reading my email, watching YouTube videos. There's several channels that I like. Um, and also just kind of eating and watching TV or reading or writing reviews or helping authors and stuff like that. I found a lot of things that as you get older that you like to do. And if you can do them, great. One thing, you never know if you can do something or not unless you try. It's like you don't know if you like something or not unless you actually partake in it. So that's just some kind of word of the wise. Um, since winter's coming, upstate New York, snow, ice, rain, wet leaves, you know, you never know what the weather's going to be. We had snow on Thanksgiving, but it was beautiful. I don't like to go out in the snow. Never have. Do it if I had to, but I didn't like it. Um, and that just kind of brings me to something I was thinking about. And we've had a lot of um, for when I'm not going to talk about my political views. Those I keep to myself because then nobody can say, oh, you shouldn't do that, or I love you for doing that. No, that's not me. Um, I would say when I am sending letters out to government officials, I am totally bipartisan. I don't care what their party is. I care what their position is and the things that they can do to help people who are mobility impaired and have access to places that are public. Easy access. Having a stair and someone helping you walk up the stairs and you're supposed to be in a wheelchair, not the same thing. Having someone open the door for you because you're in a wheelchair, mobility scooter, you're using a walker, or you're using a cane. Not easily accessible. And then there's those stores that have two doors and one is kept locked. So even people who are walking regularly sometimes grab the wrong door and like, why isn't this one opening? Why don't they have two doors open? I don't know that answer. And there may be a good reason why. I don't know what it is. I am I have been very frustrated, as you may have gathered in previous um, episodes. I don't know what to call these. This whole video series is not the same as watching TV when I was a kid. A long time ago, as I keep getting reminded. Anyway, so I'm not sure. Uh, Nothing has happened so far. Um, I did get another nice response from the assistant to Paul Tonko, who is our assemblyman. And I had shared the letter I got from the US Post Office with them. Also, I had sent out another stack of letters to those who I have written to before. I have not had responses to those letters as of yet. Um, I I know that maybe for some people, you know, it was an election year. not just presidential, but Senate and Congress and all that kind of stuff, local stuff. Um, but you know, people want to do what they believe is true. Um, and so, and then the holidays are coming. So I'm not, I will be forgiving if I don't get even a Christmas card from the governor. No, I will be forgiving until, after the first of the year and see if anyone else has responded to any of my emails. There or letters, because I have been doing emails. I've been writing actual letters with my stationery, business card, my logo, everything that I could think of to show people that I am serious. I think it's very important that um, I know they always say one person can make a difference. Well, I don't know if that person is me. I'm not going to stop trying. Um, but I've also been realizing that um, I realized I had to have a purpose and a mission as far as legislation, laws, and stuff like that. And I know law can be very boring, except when it helps those who need help. Reading all that stuff, I know what it was talking about, but legal ease is legal ease. So, um, but also I think too that I will also be sharing on how to get make things a little bit maybe easier for people. Talk about, maybe stories or issues of things that have happened during the day. Things that sometimes we don't see because we've just become immune to the noise around us. Um, but I'm going to keep moving forward. Every day I wake up and I'm grateful for that moment. Um, it's really, this is a really important thing for me. Um, and by the time you've watched this video, you will have already watched the video about basically the reasoning behind um, why I am who I am now. Um, and also, when I was editing that video about the issues and my literal fight for justice with the New York State Albany County District Attorney, um, I realized that I was only able to do what needed to be done because I had help. I had a friend who knew somebody and who I became friends with until she passed away. Um, and my book, Fractured Tears, A Struggle for Justice, is dedicated in her memory. And though I people scrutinized the terrible mistake she made which caused her death and another person's injuries, unfortunately, sometimes how somebody dies takes over on how they lived. And um, we all make mistakes. We've all made bad judgments in our life, and we've suffered consequences, but doesn't necessarily mean we died from it. Could have been a lot of things like that. We could have killed somebody else, or, you know, I don't know. Um, anyways, that I guess is always a hot topic with me. Um, you know, you look at how someone lives, you look at how someone dies, and that's how you decide whether to grieve or not. And sometimes you feel guilty for not grieving, and it's okay. Um, no one can tell you how to feel, and no one can tell you, though they try to, tell you you're supposed to get over something when they have no idea what you're going through. Every single person has something going on with them, whether they let people know or not. Sometimes they can't say it out loud to someone else because it's something so deep and personal to you that you don't want to share. And it's like, thank God nobody can read minds, at least that we know of, or that I know of. Who knows? Maybe somebody can. Please don't read my mind. You get very confused. Um, but, people judge how people behave, judge on first impressions, people judge on the way they look, on how short, fat, beautiful, naive, ignorant someone is. And, or they believe that. Why am I short? Genetics. Why am I fat? I've always had a weight problem up and down. And yes, I did have gastric bypass surgery 2016. And the reason I did it was because it would make me healthier than I was. I am diabetic. I still have, I'm still feeling, or at that weight level where they say, oh yeah, you're fat. Well, they use another medical term for it. But I also have a lot of extra skin that I can't get rid of. And I don't even know why I'm saying that. But anyways, so people have issues. Every person has issues. Some show it more, some act out more, some have a spotlight on them. So they are scrutinized for every little thing that they do, every little thing that they say, everything they've done in their past since the day they were born. But there are people in this world that are born disabled. Then there are people that become disabled. Being disabled, whatever people used to call it, some of the words I remember people used um, are now deemed derogatory, and to me they didn't sound good at the time when they were supposed to be the norm. Um, some disabilities you can see and some you can't. And some have a disability. Well, you could see that they have one, maybe because of an aid they're using. You know, glasses, not being able to see without glasses. That is actually, this is an aid. Your glasses are your aid. It's to help you see. Does making you having to wear glasses make you disabled? Well, it could. Not by like the, Social Security disability thing. I mean, otherwise half the world would be on disability. People wear glasses to help them see, not because they are a nerd or that they think glasses make them look smarter. I don't know. I don't look any smarter or stupider than I do with or without my glasses. The aids of that people use. Um, when you think about it, if you have trouble when you are in school gripping your pencil and they put that little rubber thing on it, or they give you a fatter pencil because it's easier for you to hold, that is also an aid. Just because you have an aid does not mean that um, you know, you always have to have it. Sometimes it just helps you as you grow, and then you can do things. And other times it doesn't. So you have to continue. Some people are temporarily disabled. Some people are disabled their entire life. And some people make fun of those who are disabled, or they try to pretend that they don't exist, or they rush by them because they're too slow, or they don't want to listen to them because they don't think they have anything of value to add. I'm lucky. I can talk. Some people can't. Some people are so disabled that they can't speak using their mouth or even their hands. They have to use some type of device, which technology has gone pretty far with the assistive technology aids for persons with disabilities. Anyway, I just, I am focused on getting rid of one act and creating another one. But I also want people to listen, understand. And sometimes, if you use a mobility aid, maybe it's just because you're older and you have trouble walking, or you don't want to fall down, or you have a hearing aid so you can hear people clearly. And there are a lot of people out there that have to use other aids and they don't want to talk about them because they think it's embarrassing. I told my kids once I get to a point where I can't shower myself or get in and out of the tub, which I use a chair, it's two railings to hold on to. Then it's time for me to get some kind of home care, or if not, send me someplace where I can get what I need and not be a burden. And I learned something this past week. A few things. One is that if you have to ask if you're a burden, you already know that you are. If you ask if you're a burden and they say no, you know that you are one. If they say yes, they're telling you the truth. But one thing I learned, that we all have burdens to carry. And sometimes life is harder for some than it is for others, and that can be a burden. So when you think of the word burden, and I always thought of it as something negative, but it can also be something that you can hold on to and carry with you and take care of. Just because you feel like the weight of the world is on your shoulders. And a lot of times you feel that when you're a parent, even if you're a parent to adults, you feel that weight. And the last thing you want to do is put weight on their shoulders because of you. So it is okay to feel like a burden, but don't look at that as something negative. There are days when I just feel defeated, deflated, just numb sometimes, embarrassed, especially if I fall or I have an awake seizure. So that is something to think about. Another thing that I learned too is that um, I know I don't have very many views on my videos, but the fact that I'm having any views at all makes me feel good. And I wanted to mention that you don't need to have a YouTube channel to be able to watch videos on YouTube. You don't even need to have a YouTube account. If you don't have a YouTube channel, but you have other social media and you like any of the videos, for anybody, especially me, at the bottom of the video that you are viewing, as long as it's not full screen, on the YouTube page, it'll say you can subscribe, you can share. Now, if you click that share button, it'll give you options on how to share it to, say, your other social media. Say you have an x.com social media, you can click on share, or Facebook. Now, there are times, and I've had this happen with some accounts and not with others, that, excuse me, I go to share something on Facebook, but it gives me some kind of error, like it won't share. So what I do, say it's a YouTube channel, when you click on that share button, it also gives you the link to your video. So you can just click on copy. So then you go into your Facebook page, go to post, type what you want, and then paste the link to that video, and then post it. And it's just like sharing. I don't know why sometimes Facebook and YouTube don't interact well together. I've tried to share articles, and other times I've just had to share the link by doing it that way. So if you like these videos, I would like you to share them. You know, if you have your own YouTube channel, share them to that. I love watching other videos on YouTube. Very interesting. Um, so shout out to all my favorite ones. And usually they're something that are either really cool or they're both cool and a very worthy cause. We all in our life, we need a purpose, a mission. And if you have more than one, good for you. So this has been Amy Shannon, another episode of Exposed, Mobility Impaired Denied. Be safe and be well. Thank you.